Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Shani. And I'll let some people come in because this platform does not notify you until already an hour into the live. So let me give some people a chance to get notified. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Saturdays are hard to get up. I'm telling you, the one day you want to sleep in, but you got things to get done. So you got to wake up. Those of you in the bushes, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And I'll give everybody a few minutes while I drink my tea. Good morning, Random. Good morning, Renaissance. Okay, yeah, you in the bushes. All the bush people. Good morning, Unbiased. And everybody coming in, tapping in. Oh, yeah. That's the only reason why I get up. When you have animals, I got chickens, so I got to get up. I was out there later than I should have been. And yeah, I got to feed them, change, clean up the place. It's so cold that everything in there is freezing, so I don't have to worry about flies and stuff. I had to change their water, the heated water. It was getting low. I usually change it every weekend. Put some vinegar in their water for those who know, keep them healthy. There was ice on the actual water. Funny, it's heated, but it was freezing up, so had to clean that. Not a fun thing to do in the cold, to clean up and to handle water. Not a fun thing to do. So I do it once a week. But chat about a few things this morning. Give everybody a few more minutes. And as you guys know, good morning, Cassandra. You can type weather and your city or state, and it'll tell you the weather. And good morning, G Mama. Good morning, Cece. And if you type in hashtag urban, you can drop your link. That's still active. Eventually, I probably will shut it down, but for now, most people have an option to drop your link in the chat. But I think most of us here know each other, but might be some new people in the bushes that can connect with you. So today, I always start off with the chickens and then what happened in my week. The chickens are good. It has been cold. I can't tell you. Let me type in weather for me to tell you, to convert it to Fahrenheit, because I can't convert it. All I know is it's been about negative. Yeah, it's negative 13, so 8 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about right. It's been about negative 12, negative 11 most of the week overnight. In the daytime, maybe we get to like negative 3, and you're actually looking forward to that because it's warmer. The chickens have been okay. I added more straw to the run. I know last night Jamaica was talking about some problem with the straw, but I don't know. I had nothing else to keep the place dry. They were healthy. They still are healthy, but I did notice a little nick on 2 of their combs. The wattles are fine, so a little nick. I don't know if they were fighting or, whatever, something happened. So they might be getting a little frostbitey thing. So I'm gonna get some the dog stuff for their paw pads. There's a special cream or ointment you can put on there, like shea butter or some beeswax or something, to put a barrier. So that is what another lady I watched does for her chickens. Because good morning, David Corey. Because she said that sometimes, no matter what you do, certain chicken breeds with large combs and wattles will get a bit of frostbite, unless you're gonna, she does have a heater for hers, but not really a heater. It's just something that she has that takes the nippiness out of the night air so that their combs don't freeze, but it's by no means a heater, because she had a problem one time where the heater cut out and then they weren't climatized, and then so they're fine. It's just right now the combs. So I'll be dealing with that. Either go to Amazon and buy something, or go to the pet store or something and get some dog cream to use on them. I don't think I could use coconut. I know they can use Vaseline, they said, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So they're okay otherwise, but it's been cold. Next week, they said it's going to be a bit warmer. I use the word warmer loosely. It's not going to be hot, but going to be warmer. But chickens do like cold. They're much more comfortable. I check their feet. Their feet seem to be fine. I can feel that they're warm. They're puffing up their feathers. I'm giving them a lot of scratch this week, like a lot of corn and a lot of oats and sunflower. Well, not so much seeds because they have to keep warm. So I haven't hardly used it, but this week I've been throwing corn. Like even this morning, I threw corn down. They're not eating as much of the food. I don't know if they don't like it because I switched back to the other feed store because I couldn't get to. It depends where you are, where you can buy the food from, and none of them are nearby. So I don't know. They seem to be not eating a lot of the food. Not sure. Maybe they are, but it doesn't seem like it. We'll see. So I hope everyone's doing well. And I'll drop the link just in case I always forget. But this week also, I went to the store on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. So I'm doing a modified vegan challenge with juicing with Jay. Um, you know, I did eat some cheese, a few things, but for the most part, I am doing it. I had to go get some stuff to make some more juice. So I called my sister, like, let's go to the store. You want to come for the ride? So she came, we went to the store. I went to the nicer store because in the week, the regular store is just too crowded and it's not worth the aggravation. Went to the new store, the nicer store, got some produce, got my stuff. And this young man, we were in the organic milk section. I don't drink milk, but I was just there looking for like kombucha and kefir and stuff like that. So this young man's like looking and he's like, "Oh, can you recommend any milk?" So I'm asking him, "What do you mean? Like, do you drink cow's milk? Do you drink like plant? Are you plant based? Like, what are you looking for?" And so I was showing him. I go, "Well, this is the organic section, so you're paying more. Like, what do you want?" He goes, "No, no, not this." So he goes, "Okay, regular milk." So I walked with him down to show him. I don't know if he's new to the country or what, but he seemed to be a little bit lost. I said, "No problem. I'm not in a rush." Showed him the milk. So then I was explaining to him, um, if you drink a lot of milk, it's better that you buy the bag, like the 3 bags and the big bag of milk versus the carton because it's the same price. So then he was looking and comparing prices. He goes, "No, I can't afford that." He goes, "Yeah, I'll get the bag because that's more affordable." Anyways, long story short, I said, "Well, how much do you want to spend?" So I went to another aisle and showed him the cheaper bags of milk. So we were talking for a little bit of a language barrier, so we couldn't really go in depth, but he's on a really strict fixed income and he really can't afford very much. Um it's very concerning because it's I've been talking about this and a lot of you have been talking about it for weeks and months. People can't really afford basic staples. And while I was talking to him, my sister and I separated a bit. She went to another aisle, I went to another aisle, and I'm seeing a security guard walking up and down the aisles. That store has never had a security guard. I know that there's always been a theft issue there because I've overheard like managers talking and so forth, but security guard walking up and down. I don't like shopping with security guard. It just ruins the whole vibe. It just makes you feel like you're in prison. Anyways, walking up and down, patrolling, watching people. And this is what it's come to. Like most of the stores are buying security guards, full-time security guards, or whatever they're doing, however they contract them out to patrol the stores and survey the stores. So the prices have already gone up, as we know from inflation. But then you add on this added expense for the stores to have a security guard around the clock. Who's paying for that? Me and you are paying for that because the prices have gone up even more. I was like, so we're talking in the car on the drive home, and we're like, the thing has gone bad. We've been noticing it going bad. We've been talking about it on, YouTube. Everyone's talking about it, but it's just creeping up ever so slowly. I went there for one particular thing. That one thing that I went for sold out. Nothing was available in the back. I had to just get some other stuff. Uh, they're closing a lot of stores down here. Yeah, I'm telling you, the theft has gone, and it's not just like the theft is excessive, and it's like I've never been in a situation where had to worry about food. I may not have the best food or the most luxurious food items, but I've never had to worry about having something to eat. Um, in Canada, that is. We never had to worry about anything to eat. There's always something. But people be taking stuff left and right, and it's leaving some stores. It's like it's not worth it. It's costing too much to keep the doors open. Some are closing, some are hiring security, some have closed certain locations and are putting more money into the main locations. Like they're reshuffling. But I'm like, it's getting really, really bad. People who are on the system, they the ones that need it aren't getting enough. The ones that don't need it are getting too much. I know there's a lot of issues even in the US with you guys dealing with government funding, illegals and so forth. That's a whole other conversation. But, you know, the people who are regular hardworking people don't have any help and assistance that much. And if they do, it's little and nothing. It doesn't go very far. But I'm looking and I'm like, so I went to another store, my local store, which I avoided, but I went there to look for the honeydew melon. So I'm looking for a honeydew melon. They're usually $5-6. The reason why I went to the nice store was it was on sale for $3. I'm like, okay, I can get two for the price of one. No honeydew melons. Because honeydew melon tastes very nice in a green juice, by the way, with some mint or some basil. Anyways, went to the store. Oh my God. I should have known from the parking lot. My sister goes, oh, let's go to the store. I need to get some something that she wanted to get. And I said, why don't you get it at the other store? It's cost a little more, but at least we would have been over and done with. Get to the store, the crowd. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? It was, the line was around the place. The express line was so long. And I said to my sister, I'm like, I feel just like when the lockdowns first happened in 2020. I came to this same store to get two things and I had to put them down and leave. The crowd was ridiculous. So I'm like, is this deja vu? Is this PTSD? Or is this just like a reminder? Sometimes God reminds you, like, ding, 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 like this happened very quickly before. Don't let it happen again. And I said, oh, it's not going to happen to me again. But what have you done to make sure it doesn't happen to you again? A little bit, but not enough. That's for sure. So we're like, man. And the store, like people are on top of each other. And I'm like, why the hell is the store so damn crowded on a Tuesday? It didn't make any sense. Like, did I miss a sale on the floor? Like, it just didn't make any sense. Oh, my sister text, she's watching. She's like, don't incriminate me. So yeah, this is what's happening. Now I can't say this is for every area. I think maybe more densely populated areas are having this problem with the theft and the, stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a problem. We've been talking about it. It's been a problem, but it's more of a problem. And the theft is costing you and me more money. We're the ones that are going to pay for it. If you think it's bad now with our inflation, you keep going. If people keep stealing, we're going to find out how bad it is. Bad, bad, bad. And it just reminds us, I think all of you are seeing it too. Like, we're all seeing it. Those of us who grow food and we eliminate certain expenses because we're growing lettuce, spinach. I'm growing, like, greens. I'm doing tomatoes for the WIG. I put some tiny Tims and they're popping up, germinating. So hopefully I'll get something soon. But we're growing our food and cutting our costs down. What about those people who ain't growing nothing? They rely completely and solely on the grocery store and on the system, the infrastructure of going to a store and buying stuff, of produce, meats. Then I went to the meat department. Let me keep up with the chat, though. I don't want to go off and then go behind. I've only seen theft at the Belks a few weeks ago, but I don't get out much. Yeah, I my outing is basically the grocery store. That's pretty much my outings. But I know people be stealing. People be stealing. I lost all my veggies during the winter storm. It depends what you were planting, though. I know my kale's okay, Swiss chard, arugula. Mind you, I'm probably in a colder climate than you are. But it depends what you plant. My carrots are frozen in the pot, in the fabric pot, so good luck getting those out. So maybe in the spring I'll get some seeds from it. But yeah, They're jacking up. Hold on. They're jacking people for groceries too. I haven't heard any new cases, but not cars anymore. Around here, waiting for folks to come outside with a basket full of groceries, pushing the cart over and snatching. That's why I go shopping with somebody, because between the two of us, somebody's loading the car, someone's putting the trolley away, someone's, looking, watching. I don't even buy too much. When I went there, I bought fruits and stuff. And I guess when people see what you have in your cart, they're not really interested because they don't want honeydew melon and pineapples. They don't want that stuff. They want packaged food. I planted carrots, beets in my mini greenhouse just to see how it goes. It should probably go well. Carrots are very cold tolerant and they get sweeter when it's cold. But that's exactly why I go shopping with somebody. Uh Sometimes even now, because it gets dark so early, the daylight hours are gradually getting longer because I've noticed that it's not 5 o'clock, it's now like 5:20. Yesterday was like 5:30. I locked up the girls. So it's getting a little bit later, little by little, even though it's cold. But I sometimes go shopping at lunch, my lunch break. I'll take a longer lunch break, go to the store during the broad daylight, by myself, get a few things, and then come right back. I switch it up sometimes, but this is what it's coming to. Leaving your car running to heat it up, you have to make sure you have the proper setup where the car is locked, even though you've turned it on. If you have an auto starter, I do not. So that means that one of the doors, the driver's side, is usually unsecured, and people be waiting and stealing. Over here, I don't know what's happening in your area, but over here, there's been an increase in armed robberies. I follow our local firearms. I wouldn't say local. I think it's a national firearms group that is fighting in Parliament for firearm rights in Canada, and they post a lot of stuff that's going on in different provinces. And in Ontario, so there's a town called Mississauga. We have a town called I think Vaughan or Woodbridge, some suburban areas. There has been armed robberies, and some people who have cameras, surveillance, have gotten some clips. So it's usually five males dressed in all black, balaclava or whatever, totally covered up, face covered up, with firearms, robbing people. So one home, they tried to break it, kick the door down. They couldn't, so they broke the glass, put their hand through, and opened the door. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the firearms are clearly in view of the camera, and they're banning, us from having firearms. It's going to protect and add to this community safety. But as we all know, criminals don't care about any kind of laws. So I don't know how something happened and they got scared off. A second one, the man was in the home, scared, got his family, in the closet or whatever he did. And good morning, Dr. Paula. Same thing. They took off for some reason. I don't know what he did. That wasn't on the camera, but he did something. Maybe he had some kind of something himself, pew pew himself. I don't know. And they ran off. And while one of the guys was running off, they fired a shot towards the home. Why are you? Why are you doing that? Like, what were you aiming at? So there's been several armed robberies. So people are watching the communities that you're living in, what kind of car you drive. I've had two people, one in a rich area and one in a regular area, cars stolen off the driveway. One was a Lexus and one was a brand new, like a Honda Pilot or something like that, stolen off the driveway. And the one guy who lost the Lexus, thank God sorry, my throat. He did not leave he did not leave the inner garage door unlocked. Sometimes people, we all get a bit, I guess, not, I wouldn't say careless, but because, nobody comes to your area. The garage door opener was in the vehicle, but if they had opened the garage door opener, the door to go into the house was not always secured. But for some reason, good morning, Gina, he secured it. And he learned a valuable lesson because you're giving people access to your home. It's getting rough out here, guys. And I don't really watch the news, so I'm not really seeing what's going on because I find the news a lot of repetitive rhetoric. The same news is played from morning, afternoon to night. like the same cycle of news. So I just watch the internet and get the news from there. Be careful. I'm a bit careless when it comes to going to the backyard to take care of the chickens. I don't always lock my front door. And I need to stop doing that. My sister's like, to stop doing that, lock the door. I say, oh, nobody comes over. But you gotta understand that people are watching you. They're watching your routine, they're watching how you move. You may not even notice that you're being watched. You need to be very careful and extra diligent. Secure things when you're leaving, and don't leave your doors unlocked under any circumstances. Don't leave your car running while you go get something, and someone can just drive off with your car, and maybe you have your children in the car. Don't do that. Let me just get caught up with it. I don't like going to the grocery store at all. If I could survive on eating fabric, girl, who you telling? That's why I gotta clean up my garage. It's full of you want to see my fabric, bins full of fabric, brand new fabric, never used, never no project. So I gotta get that going, organized. And good morning, Sam. I don't know if I said good morning to you. Um, but yeah, just be very careful, be very cautious. People are watching and looking. And I know I got some articles on Instagram. Chicago's getting out of hand. They've been doing broad daylight armed robberies. Over here now, they're saying that if we record someone stealing a package off our porch, that it's an invasion of their privacy. Whose privacy? You're on my property. You're on my property. You're on my property. Some of the foolishness that goes on. It's as far as I'm concerned, once you're in public, you can be recorded. Like, "Hey, good morning, Miss Shirley." You can be recorded once you're in public. I think, especially in the States, that's a standard thing, that once you're in public, they can't stop you from being recorded. So you're on my property, you're in public, you're being recorded, stealing off of my property. And you're lucky that's all I did. Some people go further and find you, chase you down. Um, but this is what's happening. But just be very careful. Yeah. Do not leave the garage door opener in the car. Keep telling my daughter this. I'm in the burbs, but we have a lot of petty thefts. Yeah. You're giving them and I know why people do it, because it was just easier. You park pop the garage door open, but you can't leave it. You're giving somebody access to your home, and it only takes one time. One time. So you have to remove it from. So we don't even keep the garage. We don't even park in the garage anymore anyways. My garage is used for like storing plants and a whole bunch of accoutrements that I'm going to clean up. My parents' house, same thing. It's going to be used to store plants and stuff like that, equipment, but and dried goods, but we don't actually park in the garage, so we don't leave. But yeah, don't leave it in the car. We're definitely in the times when people call good evil and evil. I'm telling you, they have more rights than we do. And unfortunately, unfortunately, we're paying the penalty. Some people are gonna have to be willing to quote unquote break laws, not in the name of being a vigilante or being, but if you're in your home and you have to protect your home and the people who are in your home, I don't have any problem with that. And I don't care if the law doesn't support that. That's your human right to protect your family. I don't care about the things. I don't think you should be fighting over things. But if your family is in jeopardy, the safety of your home, the people in your home, you do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Unfortunately, the laws are not helping law-abiding citizens. They're helping criminals. My neighborhood has changed. I lock my doors everything I go out. That's exactly what you should be doing. I am not doing that, but that's what I need to be doing. Don't just assume that, no one's gonna fiddle with the door and just walk into your house. Then you come back in the house from gardening or taking care of your animals, and then you think no one's in your house, and then you get caught off guard. That would be a horrible situation. That's the same, like the criminal suing for dog bite when he broke into the house and the dog. Yeah, that's what happens. You come on my property, like the laws just don't make any sense. And If you come on my property, especially in the middle of the night, you're going to get what you're going to get. Like, that's the only thing I can tell you. And it may cost me because I'm going to be dealing with legal matters and it's going to cost you arms and legs. But at this point, what can you live with? What can you live with? Can you live with somebody in your house being hurt or harmed because you were afraid to do something because of the law? Or can you live with potentially going through the court system and being on trial? I don't know. It's up to you. You have to make your own decisions. But the fact that we have to even talk about it is quite disgusting. That we have to choose. It's like you almost feel slightly guilty for defending yourself. And that's not how we should be made to feel. You should be feeling empowered to protect yourself, not empowered to fight over material things, but somebody wants something, take it, let them have it, let them go off with it. Don't be fighting over a watch or a jewelry or whatever they're looking. Just let them have it, move it on. Don't lose your life over material things. But if someone's coming to your home and they've gotten what they wanted and now they're trying to do something else, mm-mm. So we were talking, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm in the store and it's a lot of people who can't afford basic necessities. I'm not talking about steaks and filet mignon. I'm talking about milk, um, bread, basic necessities. Like, most people can eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and, they can eat that. Even that's becoming unaffordable. People can't even afford peanut butter. It's that expensive. And the store that I was at had a lot of stuff on clearance. And I don't know what's going on. Before, the clearance section was pretty much empty. Just, a few of us would shop there. I saw people just, crowding me out. I'm like, I was here first, moving, I have to be like moving out the way. They're taking over, looking for, the baked goods, croissants, bread. They have stuff on clearance. They have fruit in the clearance section. I got a whole bunch of fruit for a good price and it was organic. So I juiced that without any worry because it's organic. I went to the clearance section and the dry goods section. That's where I'm shopping. And the store, that prices has never been cheap in that store. That store is pretty on the high, not high, but on the higher end. But they're having a lot more sales too because they are noticing that they weren't getting as much customers coming through the door. People are having a hard time affording basic necessities. There's a lot of people here on international student visas. There was a deadline for them. They could not work past a certain date on their visa. That has been extended until midsummer. I don't know why, but for some reason they're allowing them to work or the permit to go longer because people need food to eat. A lot of the churches and like temples and so forth, some of them offer soup kitchens, especially for international students, but they'll feed anybody. They are heavily patronized. Like, people are going there to get food so that they can at least have one good meal a day. And that's what they're doing. They're going to these religious buildings and they're going there to eat. That's the problem. People can't even, they have to decide if they can pay their rent or they can eat. Now, the trickified thing about it is that people who come to this country, they try to fall into that, like, oh, I don't have any money. When you come into this, I don't know about your country, but when you come to Canada, you have to come with money. That's part of like the application. Can you sustain yourself and so on and so forth? And you're coming in with a lot of money. So they think they can fool, give you a 6 for a 9. They have money. They may be from another country, but they had to come here with money and prove that they can afford to be here, especially they don't want them coming and going onto the system. So they think they're slick and, oh, I can afford this, I can't afford that. This again. They can afford it more than people who've been here. So you can't always believe every sob story that you hear because these people are sneaky. Hold on, let me see what sister lives in another city told me that there was a guy who was trying to break into a house, fell through the roof, and then sued the homeowner for having a bad roof. But why were you on the roof? Stuff is getting absurd. Th- Yeah. And even if it's going to be thrown out, you have to still pay for legal fees, right? So it's I can't even comment on that. It's so upsetting. We have those boxes pretty much at every church court. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people, every store that I've gone to from beginning of time, not just now, they've always had a bin for food drives. It's nothing new. And sometimes they have things already packaged in either a box or a bag, and you can pay, like, it used to be $10, and it would be $10 worth of items. And it'll be a mixture of like canned stuff, maybe even like toothbrush, toothpaste, like hygiene stuff, just a mishmash of stuff in a bag, and then you can just buy it, put the whole bag in the bin, and then they give that to shelters and so forth. But even that is not $10 anymore, and if it's still $10, the amount of stuff in the bag is a lot less. So that's the problem. They Even people are not giving as much because they just don't have it for themselves, never mind, good morning, Tamika, to give it to other people. Unfortunately, that's what's happening. I know I mentioned to you guys, we as a my church, we were giving to the refugee fund. Um, and a lot of those individuals from those countries that were on the street are still not in official shelters. There's still some that are living in the volunteer pop-up shelters at different church groups and religious groups. Um, I think I mentioned it before, but I think it was the time when the live was not even on. That time when I was there, but I didn't press the on button. I was telling Gina and Erica and Carbon that one lady dropped them off back to the shelter, and they asked her if she wanted to come in and see, how they're living. And when she saw the place and then found out that they don't always get food, like, it's not like they get a meal every time. They don't always get food. She was like, flabbergasted. She was in shock. So she offered to buy them McDonald's, and then they're like, no, 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 that costs too much. So they have a good sense of money. So they told her, what to do, like, the grocery store, get this and that, and then they can make it split amongst them. So usually on Sundays when they come to church, we make sure that they have food. The only thing that we're working on, I asked them that we can all work on, is giving them like a snack pack or something that they can take home, so that they have some snacks for the week, like, fruit, bananas, apples, crackers, things that can stay in their area, because it's only one common fridge and one whatever. And you don't know, people will help themselves. So yeah, shelter. Well, the thing is that the thing that is the problem is that they're not even a shelter. People open their doors to their I guess you can say congregation, or their building, because they didn't want these people on the street. And the government wasn't opening shelters, and there was no room, and all kind of red tape and rigmarole. So people opened up their spaces all around the city. But ultimately, these people have to be cycled through the downtown core to get a space. So some people who were in outside areas are now, they have to be in Toronto, but there was no space for them. So people open up their doors around the place. So they're trying to get the government to fund other cities to place these individuals, so that it's more balanced. People opened up their doors, didn't have the infrastructure, didn't have the means, unfortunately. And I guess, but I'm sorry. I think if you're taking somebody in, you have to feed them at least once a day. I'm not talking about no filet mignon, but maybe even just some pasta, some sauce, something. Salad. You can get some salad and I'm sure some stores can donate stuff if they know what it's for. I know some restaurants will donate food, like they can donate some rice and gravy, like something, but you have to ask. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. So although they have a place to stay, they don't have always food to eat, and they don't complain. They don't complain. So, we do our part, but again, a lot of people are having a hard time, even at church. They have families, they got children, their dollar isn't stretching, their hours are being cut. It's difficult for everybody. But I hope we don't get to a point where people like me and you and I stop giving, stop sharing, stop helping somebody else. I hope we never get to that point where we're not willing to offer somebody else something, because it's a problem. You think you have it bad? There's somebody who has it worse. Yeah, ask. They could say no, but that's the worst thing they can do. But I know some people do donate. There's a way that you can get food and you can make it stretch, but you have to be creative, and you're not going to be eating, and I find sometimes a lot of the places around me, they don't serve meat. They serve a lot of vegetarian dishes, because I guess they can make that stretch a lot further. So they'll make curry chickpea with rice, and that can stretch for a lot of people. And they may mix different beans in there, not just the lentils. And lentils are very affordable. They may get some frozen spin, like whatever they do, and they give you water. They're probably not going to give you juice or pop, but they're going to give you water. Just it's bad. It's really bad. We're not seeing it firsthand, but things are getting worse, and the theft is a problem in stores, and they're watching you when you're shopping. So I just gotta, you can't leave your purse unattended. Like, you keep your purse on your strapped to your body. Don't just leave it in your trolley and you're like, kind of over here or there looking around. Keep your phone where safely. It's a problem. Um, Something else happened in the news. So I know it was. Give me a second. It was on Instagram. There's a pastor in Ohio that is getting arrested. Hold on, let me find it, because I know this one I did save. What's going on with Instagram? Oh, they all these new features. Like, my goodness, I can't keep up. Probably maybe I didn't save it. Maybe I'm lying. But there's a pastor in Ohio who oh, that scared me. Something was on my, like, whoa, what was that? He allows homeless people to sleep in his church, and he doesn't believe in turning people away. So I can't remember what city. I know Gina's in Ohio. I can't remember what city, but some city in Ohio, and the mayor, a lady mayor, is like giving him a hard time. She just doesn't like it. Ohio is cold. In case you just didn't know, it's like Toronto. It is cold. The shelters are full. There's no space for people. All these people want is someplace half warm, half decent, and dry to sleep. So they don't have to be out in the freezing cold. And he allows them to sleep. I don't know if he offers food, probably not. I don't think he has a soup kitchen, but he gives them a place. They're lying on the pews with their blankets and stuff. Good morning, sweet thumb. And then I guess in the morning they leave. And I guess he, gets the place clean before service or something. And he is going through charges. I don't, if you can't house these people and this man is willing to do that, what is it to you? Well, they're up in everybody's business. I don't understand why it's a problem. They have nowhere else to put these individuals, but they're making it a problem. They're making, and this is not new. We've been talking about this from before, where people can't feed homeless people. People are getting charged with, offering them food. That's what we're supposed to do, commissioned to do. Some of us has forgotten, like, their events and things that they do. And I think all of them talk about charity, kindness, helping those who are less fortunate, the motherless, the fatherless, widows. Like, there's tenets among all of these things. And when society starts to force you to turn away from these things and just ignore it, that's very concerning. But let me keep up with the chat. We had some migrants come through and had a potluck with us at our church, but they had the nerve to complain that we didn't have the things they were accustomed to. That you ain't lying, some. You ain't lying. That's also a problem. Like, and that's what happened, not this time, but in the past. People have been so picky and um just out of order, just ungrateful and unthankful. Unthankful. Yeah, they put you in jail for feeding the homeless out of your own pocket too. Yeah, this is what's happening. It shows us that the church is theirs and not. Yeah, you said it right, David. The man is using the building to house these people just overnight so that they can keep warm. And you hear us talking about our chickens, for instance. I'm concerned about my chickens, making sure that they're not going to freeze overnight, and somebody else is helping another human being and being penalized. The world has gone mad. Like, we've gone mad. Gone mad. And we're going to risk probably going to jail, many people, because many people aren't going to stop. My family used to take hot food to the shelter and they stopped allowing it, saying it enables them. Yeah, but what can you do? We're not here to judge and tell anybody, like, we don't know how somebody ended up in that situation, and it's not our job to judge. Food, as far as I'm concerned, goes in one hole and out another hole. I am not a person that's really going to fight over food. Now, when things go left and you have nothing to eat, that's a different fight. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, we're in a society with plenty. There's a lot of waste. And sidebar, I'll have a story about yesterday. My God. Went to the fast food, never again. I think I'm gonna take a break from fast food. But anyways, we're in a time of pretty much plenty. A lot of food ends up in the garbage bin. A lot of grocery stores have to throw out food because it's past the expiry date. There's a lot of waste. So I'm not one to fight over food in general. So you're gonna poop it out. What the hell do I care? Like, give the person the food, let them have it. Um, it doesn't make any sense. And the more you share, the more you give, the more you get blessed. But the whole idea of enabling them. Yeah, maybe they're saying that they keep coming to the same spot expecting food. There's two places in a town called Hamilton that used to give out food all from 2020 to now, but not so much anymore. One restaurant used to give out food. But what happened is that the homeless population is so huge that it outnumbers the paying customers, and they can no longer afford to do it. And you can't just say, okay, some and not others. So they had to just squash the whole thing. And they were doing that for years, like well before the pandemic, but they can no longer afford it. Then there's sometimes a truck that drives into the area and then gives out food. The population is so much with the homeless that they can't keep up with the demand. I don't know what to tell you, but the world is getting further from God's, yeah, further and further away. Further and further away. But maybe they should start to incorporate the homeless into their urban plan, and also maybe provide, I don't know. Like, I'm just talking, it may not work, but just like, we talk about community gardens. So can't they have a community garden where they can grow stuff and they're responsible to take care of it and maintain it, and with some city staff or with volunteers from the community to make sure that things are in order, and they eat from that garden. They have their lettuce, tomato, their whatever, and maybe there's a pop-up greenhouse. I don't know. Wouldn't that be cheaper, and have food for the homeless, and they could at least give them a salad every day? Maybe it wouldn't be a hot meal, but it would be something. They sell us food at restaurants but can't give away to the homeless, and we act like we don't see it. And then the money you pay for the food is 3 and 4 times, plus the service and the tips. By the time you add all of that, it's sad we judge and then act as if you're better. And the funny thing is that most people are a couple of paychecks away from something detrimental themselves. If if I was unemployed right now, and then how long it would take to go through, your savings and stuff, It wouldn't take that long to end up, you know, potentially homeless, and maybe you could live with family or friends, but it doesn't take much. So we need to be cautious that we're not looking down on anybody, because that could be you or somebody that you know quite quickly. I went to McDonald's yesterday. Big mistake. And, you know, filet o fish, I had that's my Achilles heel. I'm watching Gina's live. I'm at my sister's house and we're editing something for church. And she was near the end and Gina said, Urban, are you going live? But just when she was saying that, I couldn't even answer. I fling my phone down. I had a sip of the juice. I didn't use the straw. I took off the lid and I used the cup, because our straws are cardboard and it gets like yucky. Then I feel something in my mouth and I'm like, and then a hair. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So the whole, like, the last 50 minutes, I'm like coughing up like a hairball. Like, what I felt was a hairball. I felt disgusted. I had to get mouthwash and I was gargling with the mouthwash. And then I came back and then I typed in the chat at that point, yeah, I'm going live tomorrow. I was so disgusted. I was coughing up all night, just like feeling something in my throat back. I'm like, oh, oh, hair in my drink. Disgusting. So I'm like, that's God punishing me. I shouldn't have gone there, and now I paid the price. So I'm like, I'm gonna go and complain to the manager. That was disgusting. What happened to goodwill to all men? It's only good. Yep, you're right. It's only good on one day, maybe till New Year's, and by January the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, back down the hill. Who cares? You're on your own. Screw you. If I had to sleep outside right now, or even this last week, I don't know what I would do. My hands have been ashy for the last 2 weeks, and I've been creaming them multiple times a day. Never mind sleeping outside in the cold. The chickens have a whole feathers, so they're not so bad. And even they get a good, they're in an insulated place for the most part. They get a good thing going on. I wouldn't survive. So how do you expect the home? Like, I don't see how you get it. How doesn't make sense. I've always believed that restaurants should donate the food not eaten that day. They just throw away something people. And the problem why they throw it away is because they get punished. The bylaws and the laws are not helpful. Maybe if they said, you know what, eat at your own risk. Like, they're not, good morning, Odom. They're not responsible for any food poisoning, like something to kind of say, it's at your own risk, but you make sure that you give them, you know, that it was awful, David. I was like, I feel something in my throat. I'm like, I feel like I have a hairball. Oh my god, it's gone. I'm like, no, I feel it. I still feel it. Oh my god, that's what happened to my sister at the competitor, the other one for the Golden Arches, the competitor. What's their slogan? I'm loving it. No, that's not the right company. Da, 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 da. No, that's the Golden Arches. The competitor. The blue. What's their slogan? The competitor. The main competitor. She went there and had a burger, a veggie burger, and there's a hair in there, and she has never gone back. I said, what about a different location? Nope. She goes, they're all garbage. Morning Crafty. She's never going back there ever again in this life. Okay, take care, Dr. Paula. She's never going back there again. Ever. So I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I'm gonna have to cut the filet fish. I don't know. It wasn't the sandwich, it was the damn drink. Feeding people in need of food is different from paying for their daily necessities. And the decision to stop enabling them isn't being countered by giving opportunities to sustain themselves. Yeah, they don't offer anything or some kind of programming or nothing. It's just like, screw you, you're on your own. The hands be dry. My hands be dry. Yeah. Like, yeah. Gardening or like working outside in the winter and taking care of animals. And sometimes I have the gloves on, but the gloves are like hindering you from doing stuff. So I have to take off the gloves and do stuff. Man, they literally look like the chicken legs, like scaly and like the chicken legs, my hands. I'm like, it's rough in these streets. I think, yeah, the competitor, have it your way. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Um, yeah. So this is what's happening. Good morning, Queen Shar. Oh, girl, it was the local Mickey D's, and I was like, oh, I was horrified. I've been drinking hot tea to kind of kill that feeling. I swear I feel it in the back of my throat. I swear I still feel it. So hopefully this week it's going to be a little warmer. I might I might I don't have a heater for the chickens, and I know some people have some kind of device I watched. It's not a heater, but it's like very I might invest in one because this week has been outrageous. But I like them to be climatized to the cold because it will make them more robust. You don't want them getting used to like a hot blazing heater and then the power goes out. But that one that they have is so low, it just cuts that chill and they don't get the frostbite on their comb, wattle, and on their feet. I might invest in that, but for so far they're okay. But I'm concerned. Like you have to always, I'll be lying if I say I'm not concerned. I check the temperature multiple times a day. I make sure I get out there, make sure, they're okay. Oh, okay, the baby. um These people that are handling the food are nasty. No hair nets, hair flying. Yeah, Shar. I don't know. Like I went there, 'cause I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do some editing for the church. I'm gonna help get some stuff done. Good morning, Netta's Nest. Let me just go pick up something because I'm like, sure. And then the thing about it too is, those of us in a cold climate, you want to go into a drive-through. I don't want to have to go park, leave the car, go back into a restaurant, order food, wait for it, go back to the car, heat it back up. It's like all those steps you're trying to avoid. So sometimes you end up going to a drive-through just to avoid that. But man, it turned me all the way off. Off. It served me right. It should be doing the vegan challenge, and I went to go have some fish. Anyways, um, and then it's gonna get warm this week. Well, not warm, but warmer this week, and then maybe cold front again. So you gotta watch it, guys. Make sure you be careful because this yin and yang is not good. My kids like it there, but I only watch them if you watch how they handle the food. You would, girl. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I shouldn't have ate there, and it wasn't like there was hair in the food. It was in the drink. How do you get hair in the drink? Were you just shaking your hair and then putting it? I don't understand it. And then when I put it in, like I was drinking, I felt something just go. Bloop. I'm like, what's in my mouth? So then I had to stop myself from swallowing the drink and be in fishing for something in my mouth. My sister's like, what's going on? I'm like, something in the drink. And then I'm like, oh. And then my sister's like, oh, go take the hair back. Well, the hair, I know the hair is in the napkin in the compost. I'll bring the hair back. I say, whose hair is this? Do a DNA test. I want my money back. Yeah, cook it yourself. Cook it yourself. I should have brought one of my juices, my carrot juice, because that would have sustained me and just had that. It was the most all night. I was like, even in my sleep, like clearing my throat. Just clearing my throat for no reason. I just felt that feeling. Guys, be careful out here. Be careful when you're buying from these places. And if you buy from a place that's clean, then just go back to that place. Don't go to nowhere different. Stay to the same places where they take pride in the way they do things. And it. Good morning, planter. Don't like. I'm gonna go back to the places I used to shop at, and I have to leave the car and go in the cold to order the food. That's it. It's my sister stopped eating from the competitor, and she's never. I said, she goes, that's why I don't eat there. I go, well, no, I would cut off that location. She goes, no, they're all cut off, and she won't go back there. She won't do it. She will go to the expensive grocery store, Whole Foods, and she'll get food from there when they have like salmon or whatever. She will not buy from. She's done with them, and now I think I'm done with. It was horrible, horrible. All you want to do is just eat some food. You don't want no drama, no trouble, and people don't care. And I paid good money for that garbage, literally. I think it was a combo with the coupon because they have coupons now. I think it's like altogether with tax, maybe $17 to eat a hair. Like, thanks. No thanks. No thank you. Let me see what time it is. Okay, so the pastor who's got arrested for helping the homeless. I can't tell anybody what to do, and I don't really give money to people on the street because you don't know what they're going to spend it on. But I am one of those people who will give like a food item. You go buy them a coffee or a hot chocolate and a bagel or something, or you give them like a gift card to go into like we have Tim Hortons or whatever and get something, breakfast sandwich. Do stuff like that. But I don't really just give money on the street, but we need to do our part because in all seriousness, we don't know when we or somebody that we know or care about would be in trouble. And we would hope and pray that somebody would show them some kindness. So sometimes you're not doing it, well, not sometimes, most times you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for somebody maybe in the future. You're paying it forward that somebody that you care about might be in a predicament and somebody will show them grace and mercy because you showed grace and mercy and it's going to come back in some kind of way. Grow your own food or local farmers sell animals family could go into. We've done that, Odom. We haven't done that in a while, but I think we're going to have a meeting with the people we did it with last time because that was the best beef I've had. The best beef. I even still remember we made with the ground beef, we made our own burger. It was, and I don't eat a lot of beef, but it was the best beef. And we, one, two, three. It was either 3 or 4 families went in on a cow. And then, it wasn't cheap, but trust me, the only thing is that you have to have a freezer space ready and available because when it's ready to go, you have to have room in the freezer. But that was the best thing, and one of those families is the one who got hooked up with a farmer for the chickens, and we get chicken. So I think this year I'm going to be ordering my chickens from them, my meat chickens. I found a Whole Food store and love. Yeah, I don't buy a lot from there because I find it's overpriced. Some of their stuff I can get from Costco in a bigger quantity for the same or cheaper. Um, but Whole Foods is good, and they sometimes have sales, so I wouldn't count them out. And their hot food counter, sometimes when you look at it, or they have like a prepared food, it's cheaper because you can make that into 2 and 3 meals, add yourself a salad and stuff, and you're good to go. And you got a healthy meal. So I'm not knocking them. They have some good stuff, but just be mindful. If I wonder if we could get away with feeding people if we use Uber Eats to deliver food to them. I'm not sure. Not sure. Or maybe just put a bag down and say, I dropped my bag on the floor. You can pick it up if you like. I don't know. You got to be sneaky with it. I maybe eat something fast food 4 times a year. I bought cast iron and a small deep freezer and let them keep the crap food. Yeah, let them keep it. Let them keep it. I regret like you're driving. Oh, should I get it? Nah, maybe not. Oh, okay, let me go get it. Nah. It's all right. Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. You can buy chicken and pigs from local farmers, really not that much and a lot of yeah, the chickens for sure. And what I noticed in the store this week was the store that I went to with the guy was asking me about the milk. We saw a pack of quail. I haven't eaten quail in years. I don't remember what it tasted like, but I know I did try it as a child. My mom did make it once or twice. And they had a pack of 6 frozen. And it's literally they're really tiny, which is fine. I'm just letting you know that yeah, they are tiny, tiny birds. But that's why I want to grow them because I can hide them here quite easily and grow them. But they have quail and I saw the price of it. Yeah, like go to a farmer, cut out the middleman. The homeless people in my building. What? Oh yeah, I had to talk to you, Sharko. I don't even know since you moved. I had to get caught up with that whole story. They're ordering Uber Eats. My God, you can buy chicken. Okay, hold on. You put another one. Yeah, I have. I didn't buy it. I'm going to I want to get my own flock. So the first thing I'm going to do this spring is expand the chicken roosting part because they are fighting. You saw my little clip. They be fighting, and it's not really fair. I didn't make the space big enough, and I didn't realize chickens were so like difficult personality wise. There's another spot for them to roost, but they don't want to go there. They want to all be they hate each other's guts, but they all want to be together on the same roost. They don't want to have like three together and then two together. Oh no. So I have to make a whole third tier so that they can all fit together and maybe fit two or three more birds. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a couple more. I want to get the ones that lay the blue eggs. I can get them here. I forgot what they're called. Hey, good morning, Erica. I want to get a couple of more. I'm only getting one or two eggs a day, but you know, can't complain. It's cold. It's MF and cold outside. It's that bad. So I'm just thankful that they're healthy and that they're okay. Um, Quail, I want to get my own flock. So quail can probably go in the garage, but I would prefer them to stay in the same building as the chicken. So it's just like when I go in there and do my chores, they're all together. So I'm gonna figure it out, if not the garage, and start doing that. And because they're so tiny, they're very easy to butcher. So I'm gonna try it. Okay, take care, random jail. Um, but look at the prices at the stores, and this is what I notice. Yeah, because quail is small, G Mama. Quail is small. That's why people don't always like it because they're so small. It's not enough to feed a grown man. But two quail with some potatoes and some vegetables and maybe some whatever you can make a meal. Just have it by itself. You got to make it stretch, but it's better than nothing. So I have no problem with having a small amount of meat. And they turn over faster. They lay in 6 weeks. You can butcher them and like you can really turn it over. Chicken is great, but you have to have the space for chicken. If you're in an apartment, you're in an HOA, something like that, you can hide quail in your home. Some people do have done it in their home and or in the garage, whatever. You can make it work. You got to do what works for you. You can't always follow everybody else. Somebody has chickens, but maybe have 1 acre, half an acre. You don't have that. So you can't be worrying about everybody else all the time. Hey, Regenerative Wayne. I raised quail last year. Oh, you did? Okay. I think to me it's worth it. And once you and the thing about quail is that you can have a male and no one's going to hear it. They're not very loud. I can't have a rooster. So I can't hatch my own eggs from my own chickens. I'll have to either buy eggs or buy the chicks or buy pullets. That's the part of my situation that's not self-sustaining. I have to rely on ordering that from somewhere else. It's fine. It's better than nothing. I'm not complaining. At least I'm further ahead, but that is a flaw in what I'm doing. If I had a rooster now, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, don't eat out because that hair, for those who missed it, nope. Um, and just be mindful. People need help. We got to keep giving. I don't want to be bound by laws and legalities, and you can't feed the homeless. Like that's not even what we're about. And those of us who believe in God and serve in a institution of church and religion, and you're supposed to help your neighbor, that's not in line with helping your neighbor. Being told you can't give to the homeless. I think we're always standing. Good morning, Bayou Sugar. A lot of us, maybe not us individually, but us as a people, are always judging everybody else. You should get a job. Well, maybe you should. Some people should get a job, but you should do this. You should be doing that. Listen here. Sometimes you have so much excess that you can share. It's not hurting your bottom line. It's not hurting your children. You're not taking food off their plate. You have extra. Just give it. It's no loss. It's nothing. No loss to you. If it's taking away food from your children, then fine, don't do it. But most times it's not. We waste a lot of stuff. Just give. Let God judge. Let let their conscience judge them. Don't worry about being involved in everyone's business. My goodness. Stay out of people's business. Worry about your damn self. You can keep turning quail over and over by raising so. Yes, so I would have to. I don't have an incubator. I'm looking at, and I don't even need a coop. I can just get like a big cage or something and put them in the garage. That's why I'm cleaning up the garage, which has gotten to a standstill because it's cold. But yeah, rotisserie. You can do rotisserie quail. You can jerk it. You can curry it. Whatever you want to do. However you want to cook it. They're very like that's something that you could probably do, Sam, because they're very small. It's like having a. We used to have budgies in our house. It's like having a little small bird. It's not no big deal. Um, yeah, we don't have the right to judge it. Like, but we always be judging, judgy. So just be conscientious of that. But I know things are getting tough, and people may be getting more aggressive, which they are. The amount of armed robberies on our local news this last 2 weeks is ridiculous. And it's funny, not funny, because this is the coldest time of the year. And these people be out breaking armed robbery, not just robbery, armed robbery. And the way that kid, it's a kid, because I didn't know grown man, had his hand kind of turned to the side and plow in the air. That ain't no grown man doing that foolishness. Why are you firing up anything if you're like always got to have this show off cocky kind of thing and causing more problems? What if that went into somebody else's window and hurt somebody else? These kids be doing these crap, and they notice that the carjackings have increased here, and I think even I saw a news thing in Chicago. The cold places are getting a lot of carjackings, maybe because people are running up their car, warming it up, and then hey, good morning, Tech Money, and that's when they take your car, and a lot of women are getting involved in the carjacking car industry because you get paid 20 grand. Hey, hold on, let me bring in Darren. Hey, Darren,
Hey, hey,
how you doing?
I let hanging in there. But I was just reminded of so many stories about the homeless when I came out here and I got on the road as a truck driver. And I mean, I was highly religious when I first came out here, and it just ripped my guts out. And it's a shame because I've become so cold because I got taken advantage of by professional beggars.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
we
people.
all have that.
Yeah,
Trust
people.
me.
My child is dying of apollopolis disease. Hold up, let me run to the ATM machine and give you $50. I mean, I was going broke because I knew it was my God given gift. If I was blessed, I'm gonna bless you. And then I was like, I was literally in this truck starving, and I was like, no, enough's
That's
enough.
that sounds like my dad because that's why I'm so cold. I'm not cold, but because when you see your parents always giving to other people and then they even do without to make sure that
Yeah,
somebody has, and then you find out that the person is not sacrificing anything. Like for instance, somebody was begging for money because they couldn't pay their heating bill. We were living with our heat on a moderate setting. Put on a sweater, put on some socks, put on slippers. Then you go to their house. I went to their house, and you were literally sweating
yeah.
because
It's the
they're wearing a
sauna.
t-shirt and a short because they had the heat on so high. So you get to the front door with your coat, all your stuff to drop off something, and you're literally sweating in 2 minutes because
Yeah,
you're overdressed. And then you're saying, hold on, you have the heat on like you're in Jamaica, like you have the heat on 30, and we have the heat on 21.5 because it don't budge from 21.5 Celsius. And if it's too cold for you, go put on some clothes.
yeah,
And then I realized,
yeah.
okay, people always begging, but they're not like they're not living, a little bit more uncomfortably. They want their same comforts, and you got to pay for it.
Yep,
And after
yep.
seeing
And
my dad like give to people and people, take advantage, it just turned me all the way off.
and it's sad because like there's certain parts of the country like New Mexico where there's a high Indian count. a lot of them, not them per se, but a lot
Yeah.
of homeless Indian folks, they're alcoholics, and all they want is another drink. Look, if you that's all you want, just tell me. I'll give it to you. I'll give you the $5. Go get you something, because you're gonna have the shakes
Yeah.
anyway. Go ahead. But when you're trying to, come up to me and say I need to feed my family, and I'm sitting in the, I'm like 8 feet away from you, and I can smell you. I can smell the alcohol coming off your breath, and you go, look, bro. If you stop buying that daggone bottle, you could get something for them, man. Get away from me with that. But it just it hurts. It hurts that you got to do that, because look, man, there's a lot of people out here that are hurting, and and we've become cold. We've got
Yeah.
alcoholics, drug addicts, the whole nine
Yeah.
yards, and it breaks my heart.
We have become
I don't
cold.
have the answer. I don't have the answer for it either.
No,
But no,
I don't
you
have
know
the
what I
answer,
mean?
but I'm trying to be more helpful. Like even with the regards to our, we're helping these particular refugees, and I know what Sam was saying. Like nothing worse when you help somebody and it's like, oh, it's not what I wanted. Like they're so thankful and ungrateful.
Oh,
Like,
I've had,
oh, I don't eat that food, or and it's not like you're giving somebody like, pork and they don't eat pork. I'm talking about they want filet mignon. You gave them like, different cut of steak and they're just being really ridiculous. And oh, I don't
but
eat,
but there's
you
been
don't have
many.
no food to eat.
Yeah, yeah, but there's been many times where I could tell you're for real. And like over in Knoxville, Tennessee, there's a shortcut where I park at the truck stop, and walk through the park
Oh Lord.
to the Walmart. And there, I remember one time there was a guy, he was going to bed. He had his dog, and sleeping, was sleeping bag and rolled up, and he was like, and something told me get him something, and I went. I got a gallon of water. I got a couple of cans of dog food. You didn't even need a can opener. I bought him a whole chicken, some bread, and a few other things, and I said, here, bro. God put this on my heart. I said, I'm a fat ass. I don't need it. You take this. And he was
Thank you,
surprised. He
sis.
said, thank you. He was very appreciative. And it's hard because you want to be able to give to folks, but some of them take advantage of the fact that they know that you have a giving heart. It just,
Oh, for
it's
sure,
hard.
for sure. But that's why
And
I
you'll
said,
have,
I said, I know what you're saying. I
uh,
set boundaries now. It's like, if I want to do something, I do it because God must have put it on my heart why I want to do it. But don't come here, don't be nagging over here because I have boundaries now. Nope, nope.
exactly.
I
If I
don't
never,
take
if
away
I,
from my pot. I don't take away from what I need to help somebody else because they
and
won't do it
especially
for you.
if I'm hungry, and you said give me something, if it smell like poo poopy doo, look. You got any salt and pepper, and some hot sauce? I'm going to eat it, because I ain't got nothing. I don't
Nope.
have nothing. And I'm not saying I'm going to serve somebody poop, but I'm just saying.
You're gonna
And
be thankful. You're gonna be thankful
yeah,
for what you got
ex-
because you don't have anything at
ex-
all. No, not them.
exactly. And in
They want
certain
name brand
states,
clothes, they want name brand stuff. They want
and
and you're thinking, if you want that stuff, go get it yourself. That's the whole point. I'm giving you something just to tie you over
exactly,
until you can raise yourself up from where you are. But that's also pisses off a lot of people because they feel that's disrespectful. You shouldn't be asking me for that. But I just give them what I give them food and I give them drink. I don't give them money. And if they want something to eat, I'll give them something like that. But I'm not going beyond a certain budget. You stick with what you can do, and that's it. And I don't feel guilt. I don't let them guilt me. You're not guilting me. That's the end of it because they
yeah,
want to guilt you.
exactly. I've had many that, well, can you help us out? Okay, let's walk over to the Burger King. you know, you both walk over to Burger. I'll get you something. And my wife, what are you doing? He can rob you. He
Not
ain't gonna get
likely.
much. He
Not
ain't gonna
likely.
get
Yeah.
much. I,
Yeah.
what I'm gonna give him is what I got in my pocket right now. That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
You know, that's it. because I literally, because of this in these situations and certain things that's happened to me over the years, I don't carry cash. I don't even carry it no more.
I don't
So when
carry.
I say,
I should, but I don't. Yeah, I don't.
literally when I say I don't have no money, I'm telling the truth. So I'm not lying. I'm not lying, and it's sad. I walked into Walmart this morning on the way. I'm back. I had to get back on the road. I spent one night at the house, and there was a homeless lady. She walked through the door and laid down right in the middle of the floor and went to sleep. She said, "Screw this," because it was like 13 degrees out, and
Hmm.
they didn't know what to do. They didn't kick her, say, "Hey, get up," blah blah blah. They called the fire department, and they were very gentle with the lady. I understood, and I was like, and I started tearing up because you don't realize half of us are one or two paychecks away from the same situation,
Telling you,
you know,
I'm telling you.
and
If I
we've
don't
got
have a
some
weekly pay, I would be screwed. No word of a
exactly, and
lie.
we've got so many people. I did a live on it, and I don't want no smoke, but a lot of people acting like, well, I know this, and I've got all these degrees, and I've got all this, and I know everything. But what you gonna know when your degree job told you we don't need you no more? Because guess what? When they start cutting the fat, they cutting you first. They
Yep.
they they getting rid of you first. And
Yep.
and, and then when you don't have nothing and you wanna see these people jumping off the buildings and whatnot. Nah, I've been broke before. I've been poor before. I know how to go back. I know how to survive. I know how to, like right now, as a truck driver, I literally only eat, as big as I am, or the big as I used to
Oh
be,
God.
I only eat one meal a day. Because when you eat so much, you get tired and you want to
Yeah,
sleep. I gotta get down the road. I gotta get,
yeah.
and then it's like right now I'm on a healthy kick, so that's helping me. You know what I mean? And if all I need is I'm used to eating one meal a day. My wife is like, "Oh, I'm so hungry. I had breakfast. Oh, I need lunch. I need dinner." I'm laughing like, you just don't even know.
You have to
You know?
discipline your body, but you're half the time you're not hungry. Half the time it's boredom. I find that I wasn't really
Yes,
hungry.
yes.
I wasn't.
Half the time it's boredom, and I
Or
be eat.
you're thirsty. Yeah. Yeah.
I work for a company that does a route for Kellogg's, and they potato chips and corn chips and this chip and this cookie, this cracker. When I take it to Publix, somebody always runs into something, and next thing you know, I got 5 or 6 boxes in the back of the truck. And I'm like, and they say, well, throw them out. I'm like, well, I ain't gonna throw them out. Then I get bored. Next thing you know, I'm dipping into these boxes that I don't need to be dipping in. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh God, But now I started giving them away, and I go, my neighbor, he says, well, I gave away like 4 or 5 cases of cereal, weird,
Hmm.
weird looking cereal, and he was like, "Oh, great, we eat this, and I've got people I know I can give this to. Thank you."
That's what
And
I'm
I'm like,
saying.
well, I'm
Jason was
like, well, you're
mentioning in the
welcome.
chat that he gave somebody McDonald's and they slapped it out. I find like I usually ask people because exactly sometimes, hey, good morning, Jegs and Unicorn Lady. Sometimes people's reaction ain't too right, but if I say, do you want like X, Y, and Z, and they say yes, then I'll do it. I don't just go and do it because some people just ain't right with their reaction. But yeah, I ask people, do you want this? I get this for free. Do you want it? Sure. I don't just go and say here, but because they might think that you think they need charity and they don't like that. But I'll say like if I get my hands on this, that, and the third, do you want some? Sure. And then they see that it's good, they'll keep it coming.
See,
Keep it
that's
coming.
that. That's why I've come out of my shell a lot, but I've learned to mind my business. Because you come to me and I give you McDonald's, you slap it out my hand, I'm picking it up and I'm slapping it across your face. You
Look,
ask me for food, you
he
you
was
dumb
going
piece
to
of
get
you,
somebody
you,
else.
you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, nah, I'm good. I ain't got no money, and I walk away. Because if I went and spent my money and you slap it out of my hand,
I'm gonna slap him. I'm
you
gonna
know,
slap you. Yeah, I'm gonna slap your face up.
I'm gonna pick that.
Allegedly,
I'm gonna pick
allegedly.
that double cheeseburger up and slap it. Next thing you know, you gonna see on YouTube yeah, the truck driver gets
Yeah,
arrested for broadsiding somebody with a double cheeseburger from McDonald's.
yeah. And you're thinking
That's
I
why.
spent my good money on this thing, and then no, yeah, that would piss me off too. But you have to ask people
You
because
know
some
what I
people
mean?
just don't act right. And what they say, no good deed goes unpunished. And that's the truth. Sometimes you're doing something
Yeah.
nice for somebody, and they punish you for it. But
And in the man, you like, and the other thing he's talking about with the food service. I was in food service for years,
mhm,
and it's you get so lackadaisical behind the lines. This is like, the one thing I love about Subway, they take them stupid gloves off every time. They take them off every time. Well, they
yeah,
wash their hands, then put another set of
wash
gloves
their
on.
hands.
So that I got no problem. But these other places, there's a TikToker, you need to watch him. You'd laugh yourself silly because he just critiques people that make these food videos, but this is food videos from other countries like India where they're barefoot and sitting on the floor, mice and whatnot are running all over the place, and he's just going at it. It's so hilarious. I'm like, you're right. You're so right. You don't know what's going on behind
Nope.
those doors.
And don't you
So
dare be rude to them. Don't you dare be rude to them.
ooh,
Don't
you
you
know,
dare be
I
rude to the
told
food
that
service
story.
people
I've told
before
that
you get
story
your
before.
food.
I
Mm-mm.
had to give a guy a $50 tip because I didn't want him rubbing that
In your
meat.
food, yeah.
Yeah,
Pulling on his pulling on armpit
some
hair
private
and putting
parts.
it no sir.
And I begged him. I said, please, sir, for the love of God, I just met these people. Yeah, I met that too. I said, please, sir, please. You trust and believe you're gonna get you're gonna get a big tip. If I got to come out my pocket, I
Mm,
laugh about that. I love telling that story every few years or months or whatever. But you like you
yeah.
said, but you get so used to certain things. If I had a hair in there, I'd be like, and I'd just keep drinking. I'm like, well, I paid for this. I ain't throwing it out. I'm just saying, I paid
Oh
for this.
no.
Unless it smell like booty, you know, unless it smell
I'm
like
telling
booty
oh the
hair. I'm like, oh my god,
oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was
No, I understand. I
oh
understand,
my
bro.
god.
Trust and believe. I
Oh,
understand. Yeah, but you ever go to one of them places and you got a hair in your mouth and it ain't a little curly hair, come from us, but you start pulling it, it comes a real long hair.
yeah,
And you go,
yeah.
ah! You got for the love of
Are you like
Jesus!
you need to
Ah!
woo? Or is this something I can hear this I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The things that we go through. But yeah,
I've had it happen. Like,
I'm gonna go back to the
oh my god!
store and complain today and tell them what happened, just to tell them. But yeah, that note to self: make your own damn food, and that's what I've been doing. And make your own damn food. Don't
But
don't do that. Don't go to these drive-throughs. They don't care. They're just
the
fast,
heart,
fast, fast. Serving food
yeah.
and undercooking it, and it's you know, ugh,
The hard part is being a truck driver, and see, because I've been doing all this stuff, going on these vacations. I have to move out of my truck, and I'm tired of taking everything out of there. I had a hot plate, an air
yeah.
fryer, this, that, and the other, and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm making gourmet meals up in here, but then when it's time to move out, it takes me 4 or 5 hours to get out of the truck. So now I'm
So
starting
you don't
all
have
over
your own. You
again.
don't have your own truck. Is that what you're saying? Like you have to change
No,
out your
no,
vehicle.
yeah. If you out of the truck for 7 days, you got to move out this sucker. But
Okay, I see. Yeah.
hopefully I'm supposed to get in about 100,000 miles. I'll hit the million mile mark. I'm supposed to get my own truck. I'm
Okay, so
supposed
you
to.
can keep your stuff
We'll
in there
see.
and just
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see. Because I've always wanted to do, you know, I don't see it's. I know it's hard, but I do cook. I started doing that on I think YouTube. No, think on Instagram. I started doing it on Instagram a while ago, where I
Hmm.
was cooking in the truck,
I was
and
watching. That's what I was saying. I was watching those your keto diet in the truck, and you're making all kind of food.
yes, yes, and I fell off. I fell off, and I
Hmm.
I, I want to get back into that because I was having so much fun. Because I'm like, and I'm looking like, and I chop it up, but next thing you know, every time I move out of the truck, I go in my garage. I've got 5 or 6 cutting boards, knives everywhere, and I was like, wait a minute, this stuff that used to be in the truck, and I keep
Yeah.
on buying new stuff,
No.
and but it's hard. It's hard because you got to find a Walmart or a place where you can park to go walk to go get some food,
Hmm.
to go shopping and to do those things. But I'm gonna get
I know
back
it's
into
hard.
it because
I know when you were doing that, you were eating better because you were controlling what you were eating. But I know what you're saying. It's hard to move, and every time you got to pack up everything, put it back in the new truck, set it up the way. Like it's a lot of work. It is, but
because
maybe.
a small bowl of salad, yeah, but
Mhm.
that's like 14.95. But you
And you
can
could
get
buy the
two.
lettuce for like $4
Thank you.
and
You,
tomato
you
and cucumber. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But you 2 slices of pizza, you get that. You could buy one for $1.99 and get one free. I'm like, what? You're trying to kill me. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But I don't understand.
Maybe just use the air fryer. Maybe just use the air fryer and forget the hot plate for now, and just
Yeah.
and then buy your salad. Have a little cooler and just keep it like scale it down so you can have your
Well, I,
salad
I, I,
and
I do have a little refrigerator, but I've been wanting to get more and more vegetables, so I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate that. If I get me another, like you said, actually go get a cooler and have that for my vegetables and my
mhm.
salads and stuff, and then the meats and all that stuff, and then I'll set myself up, and then I'll go. No, I want some chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. I'm like, what? I'd rather buy
Yeah,
out.
just worry
You know,
worry about yourself
so
because I know you were eating very well when you were doing your own food because you were controlling the carbs and the salt and all that stuff. But I understand. But try
exactly.
to find a simplified way to do it because trust me, all that takeout is just killing us.
Yeah,
And damn
yeah,
hair in the food and the hygiene and the sodium. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This was really
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
and then when you stop doing it, you actually get the cravings for it.
I'm telling you, you crave the healthier stuff
Oh,
when you start to give your body that. And I don't know why I ate a damn filet of fish because I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But you fall out. It's Friday night. Oh, I deserve a treat. And then you get a hair swimming around in your mouth.
Lord, 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 at least you know it came from one of us. If it was a little old small, but if it was a long
No, but
one,
the short
oh
hair
my
looks like
God.
different body parts. And I'm like wondering, is this a hair or a body part hair? I'm like, what the hell?
Well, you know what that is? It might have been a synthetic hair because you ever walk into one of them places, they got the hat on, but they got that weave so far down past their behind that no one has that long of a hair unless they are a real roster that they
Mhm.
didn't cut their hair in years. You know what I'm saying? And but they're handling my food. But don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on y'all. They got weeds or whatever. But look, be realistic. Be realistic. And you got Shaniqua and Shaquanda that's dealing making your sandwich and got nails about like five
Oh, I
inches
hate
long.
that. And
What?
don't be
What?
talking over the food when you're preparing. Oh yeah, I'm spraying. I'm like, no. When you're preparing food, it's silence. You don't talk. I don't
And
care
then,
how
and
heavy you're
then
spraying up the mist up your mouth onto my burger.
yeah, yeah. No. They don't cough over it. They just turn a little bit to the right. What the
You done
fuck?
spray. You
That
done went 6 feet. You done spray 6 feet. So all
Yeah,
right,
that wind done floated, it done floated, and then just
and then
settled
they
on
have
my
these eyelashes
sandwich.
glued onto their eye, flattering, and then you see all these little spider legs in your salad from the
Oh,
eyelashes that fell off.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, God.
and the glue. I'm like, note to self. Yo, I need to stop coming to these places.
You're so right.
I was like, oh God,
You know what? But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna start practicing what I preach because I went out there. I was picking up this load I got right now, and I started coughing, and I realized it was my asthma. But the brother behind me, he got up, walked out, came back with his mask on. I was like, oh shit.
yeah.
uh
Oh, I'm telling you,
oh, uh
coughing nowadays,
oh.
like you get all these eyes on you. Like, are you who's coughing? Who's sneezing?
Yeah, yeah. I don't need it, but you know what? I'm going on another cruise in March. I'm not
Mm,
March. Charles is going on one in March, but I'm going on another one in June. I'm taking my son
okay.
because I always wanted him to go. My son, my eldest sister, and my wife. We going, and I'm taking a mask. As soon as I hear someone cough, I'm putting it on because I know this cold that I got from that boat. I got
Do
from that
you take it?
nasty
But do you
behind boat.
take supplements? Do you because I find
Yes,
when
yes.
my vitamin C and stuff and vitamin D is hot, it's good. I don't get sick so easily, and I used to get sick easily. You blow,
You.
over
Oh
here, and
yeah,
I'm
no,
sick.
no,
You
no.
know.
I get sick easy too, and
Mhm,
but um, I don't know. I think I was just more disgusted because now I'm self aware.
mhm.
I sat by the wash station and see if anybody would show up and wash their hands. I ain't see naff
People have been
person. Yes,
nasty from before the
yes,
pandemic,
they've
and now
been
that they don't
nasty.
have to
Yes,
wash their hand and
yes,
sanitize and
they
do 6
don't.
feet, they're back to the same nastiness,
Yes, yes. And I'm
same
like, and
nastiness.
I walk by another one. Well, there's another hand wash station, and there's another ship that I'm going on. I love their hand wash station because you just put both your arms in the machine, and it's like a massage. It goes from your forearms all the way down. I just kept on playing with it last time I was on that boat. And I was like, and my wife's boy, if you
Sounds like
don't
a
walk away from that
sounds like
thing,
a sex toy. You putting your
it was,
hand there.
yeah, yeah, it was massaging me and all warm and gentle. I was
That
enjoying
sounds
myself.
kind of sensual. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, I was enjoying myself. He said, what are you doing? I'm just washing my hands. Boy, if you don't get your hands out of there.
No, people are very nasty. They've been nasty. So you have to, now that you got sick now, just keep taking, your vitamin C, your vitamin D, get yourself, up to a good level so that when you're around other people, you won't get sick so easily. You won't get sick. And I
Hey,
wipe
oh,
everything
and
down. Wipe everything down.
you just reminded me. Do me a favor, because I'm gonna use you and a few other people as guinea pigs.
Hmm.
What on the cruise ships? It's one of the things that they do is especially on Carnival, which I ride, and I just fell in love with it by mistake. Is looking for these ducks. They hide ducks throughout the ship. So I just
Hmm.
ordered 90 ducks, and what I'm going to do is then you have like these cards. I'm going to say this you found this duck. This duck was sponsored by so and so from this
Okay, yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
page. If you would not mind, go by there and say hello and say you found a duck. And maybe if you like them, you might subscribe. You know
Yeah.
those little square. I don't know the names of this
Like
stuff.
the QR codes, the
Yeah,
scanning QR.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Send me a QR code, but a real small one. A real
Okay.
small one. And you got my email. Send me a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
small one. And I'm going to do like maybe, 10, 15 of each person I choose. And because have a few drinks, and me and Charles me and my son gonna go around the boat hiding these ducks. And I think that would be for future reference, when I have a membership on my thing, every time I
Hmm.
cruise, I'm going to have my members. Not my members, but I'm gonna put these ducks out there and see if anybody finds them. And people do find them. That's a big thing.
Hmm.
And see, or take a picture or send it to my email or whatever. I'm trying to come up with different ideas that are different from everybody else. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's people remember. Hey, Nikki, people remember that. But yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Get different
yeah,
people to
yeah.
kind of see.
Because like I said, you've always hung out with us on our page, and we always come over here, and like
Mm-hmm.
Mike and a few other folks. I'm going to set it up because I got till June. So like I said, I'm
Mm-hmm.
waiting on the ducks. I ordered it through Timu. I don't know if Timu gonna show up, but we'll see.
I haven't ordered from them, but I heard they're like they do deliver, but they take a long time. Like it's like 3 or 4 weeks or
Oh,
something, depending on what you're ordering. David's saying to take echinacea and golden
okay.
seal. That might help with your immune system.
Oh, okay.
You can try those things because I
Or OD. Oh, uh-huh.
go ahead. No, OD. What you said?
Oh no, I said OD on Nyquil.
Oh no, you don't want that. That's if you're already sick, but this is like a preventative. That way, when you go next time, because you're around a lot of people on a cruise, staff and
Yeah,
guests,
yeah,
and
you're right.
so
You're
then
right.
that
You're
way your
right.
immune system is already robust, and then you won't get so sick.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, and
yeah,
I got a little lackadaisical anyway. Because normally, every other cruise I've been on, I hear one person call, mask on,
hmm,
walk away, getting the fresh air, mask off. No, we got to get back to that because
yeah,
you know people are nasty. And
people
not
are
just on
nasty.
cruise ships. They're nasty, mean, and downright contentious, and
And most of
worldly.
the germs that you're getting is most likely, from what I've heard somebody else say that I watch, excuse me, from the room, from the cabin. One lady
Mhm.
got like she has an Instagram and she always like is cleaning. So she went on the cruise and she did some cleaning before, they unpacked. And they're like, "Why are you doing all that for? Blah 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 blah. You're just so extra." And she's like, when she came back from the cruise, her and her family did not get sick. Everybody else was like sneezing and coughing because they don't clean the rooms good. So you're
Well,
you're lying down on sheets that are not even like probably not even washed. She brings her own
well,
disposable sheets.
you know what it is they've cut back on the room stewards
Mhm.
to save money, and they used to actually clean your room twice a day. They don't even do that anymore. So
No.
it's once a day, and then when turnover day, they have to get a couple hundred rooms depending on whoever's doing it. Those poor people work 14-hour days, 14, 15, 16-hour days. I start out, take a nap, walk the day, and then I see them in the middle of the night. Man, you still working? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was like, oh, damn. And so
Yeah.
that's why I give extra money, extra cash. My room store. When we walked in, I gave him $50. He's always going to get a gratuity. I've already prepaid that, but he gets the extra $50
Extra.
off them.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, bro, this for you. I'm not like these other fatzos. I am a fatso, but I'm a fatso that gives a hoot about you. This for you. Will have a good day. Oh, thank you.
But do you
And
check? Like, do you ask them what products they're using?
no, 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 no. But you're
I
you're
don't
right
care.
though.
I went to the hospital and I asked what you using because my mom, what are you using? Is that a fresh rag? And I asked like, and I went through what they do because some of these cleaners, they're cleaning 15 rooms with the same rag. This is what
Yeah, yeah.
people don't get. So your room has
No,
been
but
cleaned once a day, and the germs from cabin 10 are now in cabin 11.
and
So
you're right. That you just reminded me. I'm gonna take some Lysol and a few
you
other
have to have
handy
Lysol
wipes or
wipes and your
whatever.
own stuff, and anything that you touch,
Yeah,
like your phone, whatever, needs to. You have to do that yourself. They're not cleaning
yeah,
it the way that you need it to be cleaned, and that's exactly
yeah.
why I was. I haven't been on a cruise, but I've been in hotels, and hotels are bad enough. Cruises are
Oh yeah, yeah.
worse,
Hotels are horrible. Hotels are
and
horrible.
the cleaner that they're using is not even disinfectant. It's just a
Yeah,
fragrant thing. It's not disinfecting anything. So it's like, what are you cleaning, lady? Then at
yeah.
work, I remember at work, Shark and say somebody got mad because they were actually there when somebody was cleaning. They used the same cloth on all the desks. What do you think they've been doing? That's why when I
Why?
come to work every morning before I start my shift, there was Lysol. I was cleaning my keyboard, my mouse, my phone, my desk every morning because I know the cleaners are not given the tools they need to properly clean or the time. They don't have time for all that.
Why do you think I came up with that stinky booty confessions? It's because I watched one guy in the truck stops washing the shower room. He just used the last towel that the last person left there, and he was mopping the floor with that towel.
That, that,
Think about
that's what I'm saying.
it.
So I know
Yes,
for a
it's
fact, even at the gym, I'm like, what the heck? Exactly. So
yes,
there's some people who are OCD and they're being laughed at, but they didn't get sick. So I now
yep.
that I know about these disposable sheets, I'm not pillowcase sheet. I'm gonna put the disposable ones on top, and don't let the top sheet touch you or the quilt that they.
Oh,
No, they're not
let's not
cleaning it.
don't even talk about bed bugs. That scares the bejesus out of me. Oh my god, bed bugs. Oh my god. You talk about running up and down the hallway. Ah!
That's what I'm saying. So you we go on these cruises, and you have to be either you don't care. Some people just don't care because they don't get sick anyways because they're nasty themselves, so they don't care. But if you're one that gets sick, you have to go and spend like 10 minutes cleaning the main points that you're going to be touching and handling, and clean them and keep them clean yourself, because
Yes,
they don't pay the cleaners enough, and they have to do so many rooms an hour. There's not enough
ex-
time for them to really, like, you have to clean your own toilet seat to make sure you're not sitting on somebody else's stuff from last week, and
yep.
you got to clean all that stuff yourself.
You just
And have
reminded me. I'm gonna be more in depth. Yep.
and then
I'm
you
at.
tell me next time if you get sick, if you when you do this, if you're going to get sick.
Yes, because you just reminded me, so I will be more in depth about it. Because you just remind me. Well, I used to do all that, and I've never gotten sick before.
Never see you
Now
never got sick.
yeah. Now I'm like I was dying. I was dying these last few days, and I was trying to do. Charles and them were calling me. I halfway through my live. I wasn't even on there. I was sitting in the back seat, just zombied out. I'm like, what? Hey, you gonna come on? Sorry. Well, excuse me.
Yeah,
But this
exactly,
is fun.
Nikki. Yeah, I'm telling you, you have, like, I've been there, and it's like when you get sick, you get sick. And it's like, okay,
Yes,
you know what?
yes,
This is not happening to me again. So I started to make some different. I got to put in a little bit of effort, and then exactly like I treat my cleaners nice and with respect, yes, but I don't expect them to keep me from getting sick, because they're not given the tools. Even my company in one department, they don't want to pay what cleaning is worth. They're nickeling and diming.
yeah.
Like, we had to be arguing to get sanitizing stations to have, like, the gel. Like, they didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay. But when the pandemic hit, oh, all of a sudden, oh, here, to look like they're. But all the time before, you weren't giving us the tools. And then there was a
Yeah.
flu every season, a flu every year, and people were off sick.
Yep.
Didn't care until had a name. Till the vid had a name. All of a sudden, oh, we got to look like we care about our people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. But
So I made sure sure. I had Lysol wipes in my desk, the Lysol spray. I had the paper towel of my own from my own house. I brought in and used my own towel sometime. I had Lysol spray, and I would spray and like, stop spraying in the place. I can't. Don't go choke on the damn. I don't care. Psh, spray my chair, spray the hat, and they'd be coughing and
no,
choking. They hated my guts. I don't care.
and have a humidifier and pour some Lysol in there.
Yeah. Well, I put tea tree or eucalyptus, but yeah, same thing. And you're breathing it, breathe that in. We ain't getting sick over here on my watch. So if you sick, I get sick, and vice versa. So none of us are getting sick, and we didn't get sick. I sprayed
Gotcha.
Lysol every damn day. Spray up the place. I sprayed the air over me, and they're like, "What? Yep, inhale it, breathe it in, clean our lungs." But I wasn't getting sick anymore. I wasn't
You'd be
getting
like,
sick
you're
because
like, what? This room smell like bleach. Why is there so much bleach? Oh my god!
and
Don't
then
worry about it.
one guy would leave. Shar knows, well, she doesn't know who, but she'll know who. He had a dirty desk, and he would smell. He always smelled like piss. And
Ooh,
we didn't say nothing because his wife passed away. suddenly. He wasn't old. She wasn't old, and he had to like now become like a single father. Like he couldn't handle. So I don't think he knew how to do laundry, to be honest. And he would wear the
Uh-huh.
same pants for like the whole week. Anyways, when he went to go to the washroom, I would be like shh, spray every time. Why do I smell Lysol every time I come back? Why do I smell Lysol? I don't know. Maybe it's the vents. Maybe it's the ductwork. Maybe they're cleaning the air. I don't know. They all knew it was me. Spray the man, death, spray the man, stink man. But I didn't tell on him. I didn't tell on him because he lost his wife, and he didn't know how to do laundry. He didn't know how to do nothing for himself. So I just kept my mouth shut. But I sprayed it down. Sprayed the
Uh-oh.
man down. Yeah, he didn't. He was like he would spill like sauce from the burger on his pants on Monday, and you still see it on his pants on Wednesday. Like you couldn't even
Oh,
hand
poor
wash it out and make it look like
poor
you
guy.
the
Oh
man
yeah,
was.
no, he was depressed. Depression. We don't realize that mental illness will affect us in so many different ways. And that was one of them right there. Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
so I
but
didn't say nothing, but it was a problem. But yeah, Char, no, we would bring our own products, and then when I started using Dettol, that was the end of the story there. With Dettol, and then I'm like, nope, because it's too much. I'm telling you, I'm with you all day, and you all are nasty, and I was the one getting sick and having to take sick. It was awful. Then I had to stop making sure I don't touch my face unless my hands have been cleaned.
uh, gotcha.
It's a bit of work, but if you're gonna go on public, hotels and cruise ships and stuff, and even the gym, the locker room, you gotta spray certain things. Like I don't go into locker room with bare feet ever, ever, ever in life, ever,
Oh
ever,
yeah,
ever.
no, 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 no,
Even when I
no.
was doing the aqua fit,
But
the water aerobics, I had to put on my like those aqua shoes thingies, like you wear at the beach. I would wear my aqua shoes. I wouldn't even go in the pool barefoot, and I would.
the one soap that I learned that is really beneficial for me is that African soap. You
Oh, the
get them in
black
the
soap,
big
yeah.
blocks. Yeah, yeah, the big blocks. And it's like sandpaper, but it exfoliates at the same time.
That dries out everything, takes everything off, all the dirt off. Everything's off.
Yeah,
Even the
hopefully,
good
it kills
bacteria
it
is gone.
too.
Everything.
Hopefully, it kills it too.
Yeah, but I find like even everywhere I go, I'm like I'm OCD, but not too much because you have to be exposed to some germs. Because if you're always overly sanitized, then it's just that doesn't help either. You have to be around germs and it doesn't affect you. But I clean
Yeah,
public places. Yeah, I clean it. I have to. I clean my phone at least once a day with alcohol. I wipe the phone because you put it down in places who knows what it touched.
yeah,
But I wipe my phone
yeah,
down because I'm putting it. I don't really put it to my face anymore. Like I usually use speakerphone, but sometimes on a private call you got to put to your face. I have to make sure I wipe my phone off with alcohol because you'd be wondering why you're getting bumps.
Watch it about putting to your face. There's some heavy radiation on these
Exactly.
new
I don't. I
phones.
try not to. Don't put your phone to your face,
Yeah.
people. Especially the certain brand named after a fruit. They have high levels of radiation.
Yes.
High
Yep.
levels of
Yep.
radiation
And
going right to your
everybody's
brain.
joking. Everybody's joking about the Samsungs or the Androids, but I think something has to do. Don't quote me on this, but there's a way to get to the phone with the fruit on it.
Mm.
That if you're close enough, you can lock in on those people's um, contact list.
Yeah,
Get the phone numbers or
if you
whatever.
leave it open, yeah, there's a way you can like almost
Yeah,
like you. I don't know if you call it toggling or you tag or whatever. Like when you kind of
yeah. So
it's
you gotta
very it's
watch. You gotta
very
watch that.
dangerous.
It's so dangerous now with this technology and all this other stuff. It's just, we're all being tracked. We're all being tracked.
Yeah, we are
And
point blank.
yeah,
Period.
yep.
But don't make
They
it don't
they,
make it
they
easy for them. Don't make it easy for them and the criminals to find your behind.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
but yeah,
All
they're
right,
good packages.
I done flapped my gums long enough, but I'm gonna go ahead and go
Okay, no problem.
and step down. But
Good
yeah,
talking to you.
I'll be back in the bushes.
In the bushes. Okay, Take
All
care
right,
there,
all
and
right.
take care of GTIC thing. Okay, but yeah, yeah. There's a lot of products out there. There's the person that I was talking about on Instagram. Give me a second. I think her something Nikki. Give me a second here. Maybe some of you may follow her. Give me a second to find her. Um, bear with me. Something Nikki. At home with Nikki, or every time I want to find her. Hold on, let's see if she was on my feed this morning. She has a couple of reels on her channel, and she just cleans her house and everything, but she did some hotel reels of what she uses to clean. And some people have like a special spray they use for the hotels to kill bed bugs, and they may spray the mattress and so forth, and then put sheets on and then leave the room for several hours for it to do its work. Hold on, let me check. I think I can check who I follow. Oh goodness. Um, how do I see who I follow? See, not even know what I'm gonna do half the time, man. Oh, there, following. Um, hold on. Yeah, it's called Operation underscore Nikki, Niki. Um, I don't know if it's gonna show. That's her picture. Operation Nikki. She has a lot of nice reels. Um, she's at 2 million followers. Wow, good for her on Instagram. And she has some reels with hotels and just cleaning her fridge. And if you like to watch people clean, I do like to watch people clean. It gives me inspiration to go clean my own stuff. Um, and what products she uses. You might find it interesting, especially when you're traveling a lot, what you can put in your suitcase to kind of help you um sanitize your room. Maybe it's a bit too much for you, like over the top, but she and her family didn't get sick. So check it out. Operation underscore Nikki. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna wind it up because I want to go. I'm gonna go to visit some people. There was two people in my family relative group who got, I told you, got diagnosed with answer C. One is in the hospital again with some complications. So we're gonna visit because sometimes if you don't visit early enough, when they start to decline, it's not a good time to be visiting. That's basically only immediate family and the caregivers. And then the other person, I'm heard that they're having a hard time speaking because it attacked their lungs. So I think we're gonna try to visit them today and tomorrow, maybe Monday the latest. And after that, I'm not sure if it's gonna be feasible to visit because you have to kind of there's a time when you have to kind of as a family close the window to visitors and don't add any stress to the person who's sick. So I think this is the window now to get like one last visit in, and then that's pretty much it. May be it because I'm not hearing too much, and what I am hearing is not really sounding too good. So I'm gonna do that. Be careful, guys. It's cold out here. I know Tech Money had a heating issue. It's cold out here, and I've been saying to myself, we need to have things in place for especially for heat. We found the kerosene heater. We haven't gotten the wick yet, and I keep trying to say to my dad, we need to test it out. It hasn't been tested yet, so thank God nothing's happened so far. But let's make sure we have what we need in some capacity. I live in a cold climate. I need to have backup heat. It's not an option, so that we can at least huddle in one room and just keep warm. Um, know how to cover your pipes. My pipes outside are covered for the first time because he changed the pipe. So I want to make sure I cover the outdoor faucet, certain things like that, because you don't want to burst pipe. Know where your main water on and off is, and certain other areas in the house, I just turn them off. If someone's going on vacation, turn off. Sometimes it's best to just turn off the water because people always have some kind of flood on vacation. Turn off the main, or like not the main, but the each section, and just leave the essentials on, and let somebody check on your house while you're gone. That's been a problem. A lot of people have had some burst pipes. Do you know how annoying it is when you can't turn off the water and it's just flowing out, and you got to find an emergency plumber, and all your flooring is being damaged? That happened. Happened to me, not in the wintertime. Something happened and couldn't turn it off. Wasn't pretty. Thousands of dollars in damage. And just had laid down new flooring. Pissed me off. So just be mindful. Get what you need. Have your food. Get your food storage bins in check. Keep moving forward. Try to get another bin of stuff each week or every 2 weeks. The prices are going up, and there's a few things that I've been looking for that have always been available. Can't find it. I can only find it at the cash and carry and some other stores. The regular store, you can't get those things in that bit bulk bag anymore. Don't know what's going on. Don't know if there's a reason, but there's some things I cannot find anymore. So just take heed, take note, keep doing what you're doing, keep growing your food. The WIG is going on right now, and the Planter Garden Herb Garden Challenge is starting March the 1st. Get your herbs selected, and spring is around the corner. So some of you I know are already planting your gardens, picking your seeds. Like before you blink, it's going to be March, and it's going to be time to already have started your seeds that can start. So get going. If you've never gardened before, keep linked up with the gardening community, and it's not as hard as you think. Start to grow some of your own food. The most powerful thing that we can do is rely on ourselves for what we need. Point blank, period. There's no other way. If you're going to the store and that's where you get your food from, you have nothing that you provide for yourself, you're going to have to rethink what you're doing. You can't be completely off, on your own, but we need to start providing more for ourselves and less reliance on the store. So start with something. All right. Have a blessed week. I'll see you next week, God willing. You'll see me in the streets. Don't forget, I know tomorrow, well, I don't know if Broke is going live tomorrow or he's doing the Monday night late night. I know My Fly Family is back on Monday with a bunker challenge. Wednesdays, Erica, I'm not sure. I know her work schedule has changed. I'm not sure if she's going to be going live on Wednesday this week, even though she told she's going live last week and left us high and dry, but it's okay. Gina's on Fridays. African Dreaming's on Tuesdays and Fridays. Odom's on Thursdays. J3GS is on Fridays. And I think another day. I think Odom's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I know for sure Thursday. Planter Gardens on Thursday nights. Miss Shirley OG is on Thursday nights. I think Bayou Sugar's on tonight. Unbiased, I can't remember, but she's Tuesdays and you'll find her. Big Roosters on Friday nights. Freestyle Fridays. I missed yesterday. I was tired. Salon Diva is doing Tuesdays with the trivia. Tuesdays at 5, I believe. That's a few shows that I'm usually around for. Yankee Sister goes live. I can't remember when, but I just pop in whenever I see it on my feed. David Corey goes live occasionally on Tuesdays. I'm not sure if he's going live this week or next week. So connect with David Corey. Hey, she said, I think GT was gonna go live, he said. Anyways, so those are the people. Check them out. Okay, so Bayou's tonight at 6 Central Time, which I think Eastern Time is 7. Yeah. So 7 Eastern Time. I think the chat's on tonight. I'm not sure. I think so. I think they're off next week. That's about, yeah. But take time for yourself as well. Don't be on YouTube all the time. I got time. I take Sundays off. except for Broke. I'll go on to Broke Farmer. I think tonight, no, yeah, tonight, I believe Jason is doing a live and a giveaway. I saw it on Instagram. Jason Ewing. So if you're not connected to him, check him out. And I believe ARD is doing a live, his first live next week. Um, Friday, I think. I'm not sure. I watched half of the live with African, so I'm not sure, but I think it's next Friday. I heard him mention, give or take. So make sure you're on his channel as well. He hasn't put a video up yet, but make sure you're notified of his lives. Okay, guys. See you next week. See you in the week. Take care. God's blessings. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. All right. Take care.